Now, the man accused of murdering Tshegofatso Pule will make his second appearance, this time virtually. He made his first appearance last week when he abandoned bail and sought to apply for legal aid. Newzoom Afrika's Mnisi is live for us outside the Roodepoort Magistrates Court and brings us more depth into the story. Linda, good morning to you once again. I can see there's a lot of activity happening in the streets there. I see the EFF and a number of groups coming out to show their support. What are the developments there?
Well, a very good morning to you, Mpho. You might have noticed from last week when he made his first appearance here outside the Roodepoort Magistrates Court, there were quite a number of people that came out immediately when police issued that statement that they had made arrests and that a man accused of the murder would be making his first appearance. Today we're also seeing the presence of the economic freedom fighters. You might have seen that poster that they issued saying that they would be picketing outside the Roodepoort Magistrates Court. He's expected to make that virtual appearance today. It's unclear at what time, and Paul will find out as the day progresses. But of course, he will, be, telling the court whether he has a legal representation or not. You'll remember that case was postponed for him to secure a lawyer from legal aid. He did say that he would like a lawyer from legal aid, and the matter stood down at that particular point where they said today it would be on those bases. That's the starting point to find out really if he has a lawyer. But to talk us more about the presence of the Red Berets that we're seeing outside, I've got with me Itani Mukwebo. He's the chairperson here in Gauteng. Itani, thank you so much for your time. I mean, we saw the EFF's Mbuyiseni Ndlozi at the funeral speaking about really how Tshegofatso was murdered. But you have decided to come here as the Gauteng province. Tell us why.
Yes, as the EFF, we are here to support the family and to show the country that as the EFF, we are not supporting anything which is supposed to do with the victimization of our women in our country. And then we are here to stand with the family of Tshegofatso Pule as we attended the funeral last week. Today we told all our members in the province and in the region of Johannesburg to join us here to support this family on this case.
Last week we saw him appear and weeping in court. What did you make of that?
Yes, he appeared in the court and then we're allowing the court, the law to take its course. That's what we are here for. We are here to observe that the law takes its course. And then we'll be asking the detectives and the people who are in charge of the case what is the way forward about the arrest which they made last week. And then we congratulate them by arresting the perpetrator on this matter.
And also this comes at a time really when there are social distancing rules. What have you implemented in terms of your picket? What is your strategy?
No, our members, they will be on social distancing. And then as you can see, we always tell them to have this 1.5 meter distancing to make sure that they don't spread each other with this pandemic which we have in this country.
All right, and lastly, before I let you go, I mean, there are various measures that have been put in place in the country to combat gender-based violence. Last year, we saw the murder of Uyinene Mkhwetyana, which sparked national outrage. And as a result, we saw various measures being announced by the president. But we seem to be not getting it right. What do you, as the EFF, think needs to be done to combat this scourge?
No, in the EFF, what I can tell you, even our leadership, even myself as the provincial leader of Gauteng, when I address the EFF members or the communities where I address meetings, I always tell the male people that it is in our hands, it's ourselves, how we behave in the community. This thing is in yourself. It doesn't need anyone to tell you. You need to believe to yourself and then respect women and make sure that you defend them, you protect them anywhere you see there's something which is not correct is happening. So it is within yourself.
All right, thank you. There you have it. For Itani Mukwebo there, the EFF's chairperson here in Gauteng province. As you can see, they've already started with their protest. He's reiterated some of the statements that were made at the funeral, saying gender-based violence has nothing really to do with alcohol abuse or drug abuse. It's a behavioral issue that really affects women and children at this particular point. But we also saw some of the family members last week reacting to his first appearance, and him abandoning bail, saying, well, they don't know the reasons why he abandoned bail, but they can expect that he may at any particular time change his decision and start applying for bail. But also the presence of the ANC here, Mpo, is also, they're also here showing their support to the family of Tshegofatso Pule. We're seeing women. Thank you so much for your time. Let me speak to you quickly. Why are you here? Why did you decide to come out today as the ANC? I see there are a lot of women here.
I didn't come as the ANC, I'm just doing it, but I came as an activist in my ward. We were friends with Tshegofatso, and we're here because we want justice for her. We want justice for femicide. We want the president to declare this a national crisis. That's why we're here, to make sure that the perpetrators are getting what they deserve.
All right, there you have it, Mpo. People calling for justice really from the broader public. You might have seen last week the man who claimed to have discovered Tshegofatso Pule's body, saying that this case is quite close to his heart, and that is why he came out to support. So we're expecting those proceedings to get underway. We'll be getting more information on how they're expected to happen and the reasons really behind the virtual appearance. What is quite interesting is how he wept in court. So we're wondering if this particular time he will be weeping, given the fact that he won't be seeing the Pule family in court today.
Linda, what we know so far in terms of the man that's expected to be in court today is that he's a 31-year-old man. He was held by police on his way back from Mpumalanga. What are the other details that come with his description?
Well, Mpo, what we know is that the man is from Soweto. That's where he's from, Zondi, Soweto. That's basically where we went over the weekend, and we spoke to some of his friends, and how they described him. They said that he was a nice, kind-hearted man, and they were quite shocked that such a man would be charged with a premeditated murder. They say this has even shocked some of their family members because they don't know him like this. In fact, when I had this engagement off air with them, one of his friends actually got quite emotional. A female friend got quite emotional, saying that people are trying to paint him as this monster that he's not. So we're expecting to hear all those details throughout the trial, Mpo. Of course, the courts will decide whether he is the monster or not.